Another thing as well, which I do think is also very important, is that a lot of business in India is conducted quite informally. There's a high level of trust when you build a good rapport with somebody. Agreements can often be done over a handshake or over a mutual understanding over lunch or dinner. It is important to make sure that you keep things well documented. Just to make sure that things are not, that things do not get lost in translation or that there are no misunderstandings. And in relation to that, one thing which I do think is absolutely critical when starting out as an SME in India is to ensure that you have sound professional advice. Whilst I think India is an easier and easier market to do business in, there are still nuances and there are still specific aspects to finance, taxation, the law in India that you need to understand and that you need to master in order to succeed as a business there. So I would really strongly recommend that if you're looking to do business in India, you make sure that from the outset you find a good source of professional advice, particularly on areas such as finance, taxation, and legal. Another thing as well, which I think is also very important, is to manage your expectations and manage your aspirations. I think you need to go in there, you need to start modestly, and you need to be patient. It takes time for things to come to fruition. Although India is a very fast-moving and very dynamic market, if you are, for example, trying to deal with larger or more established institutions, perhaps the government or certain government agencies, or larger corporations, decision-making can take longer, and it's very important to kind of build up a good network of contacts and to be persistent in trying to establish your relationships there. And I think lastly, and perhaps on a more informal level, another thing I've also found through my time in India is that it's a very all-consuming experience. My life in India for the last 2 years has been focused primarily on work. There is just so much going on and so much to do that I actually also sometimes forget that India is actually a country to be enjoyed and to be explored. I would recommend that anybody who's thinking about going and doing business in India, that they build some time for themselves into their agenda. Not only does it help give you a perspective on India as a country, but I think it will also help enrich the relationships that you have with your business partners in India as people learn about your own empathy and your own sense of love for India as a country. So I think that's a very important aspect of this as well. So those are really kind of just a few kind of pointers, if you like. I appreciate that they're very subjective, but they are genuinely based on two years of experience, and it's been a great experience so far. The last thing that I wanted to talk about briefly was the whole question of managing travel as an SME. I think that there are certain kind of myths, if you like, in the world of travel that only large companies are able to get good deals or are able to make savings when it comes to, for example, purchasing air travel. I would like to first of all dispel that myth. There are lots of opportunities, even for SMEs, to get better value and to make better use of their time and to make sure that their money goes further when they are purchasing travel. And I just wanted to kind of give you a few pointers as to how you might think about achieving that. There are really kind of two ways in which you can do this. And the first one is that, aside from American, all of our competitors have programs that are geared towards SMEs as well. But of course, we like to think that ours are the best. It's a very, what I wanted to say is that generally speaking in the airline industry, companies have geared themselves increasingly towards the SME segment. And I think it's really worth taking time to explore the SME programs that are on offer from different airlines. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the American products in just a minute. The other thing as well that I would also strongly recommend is building a relationship with a professional travel management company. Even large travel management companies such as American Express or Carson Wagon Lee or Hogg Robinson or HRG have programs that are geared towards small and medium-sized companies. And if you can tap into a relationship like that, that gives you access to their purchasing power in terms of their relationships not only with airlines, but also other suppliers such as hotels and car rental companies and so forth. So by building those types of relationships, it is possible to more cost-effectively manage your travel budget. And when you are a small business, you think very carefully about investing $4,000 or $5,000 on a visit to India. And what I wanted to emphasise is that that there is a way of making sure that you really get the maximum bang for your buck when you are making those types of decisions. If I talk a little bit more specifically about airline SME programs, there are really a wide variety of different programs out there that you can choose from. And one of the things that we've tried to do at American is come up with a set of programs that we think are geared towards the varying needs of small and medium-sized companies. So on the one hand, there are loyalty-based programs. The program that we have at American is called Business Extra. The way it works is very simple. You enroll for it online or through your travel agency, and then every time your company flies on American, you earn points. And then those points can then be used either for free travel or for upgrades or for other value adds like access, for example, to our Admiral's Club lounges. And as you can imagine, when you travel as long a distance as it is from Chicago to Delhi, those points rack up quite quickly, and those benefits start to generate real value for your company. The other great thing about that type of program is that that is a company-based program, so that then sits as a complement, if you like, to our individual loyalty program, which we call Advantage. So, travellers within your company can be enrolled for Business Extra at the corporate level, and then personally can still continue to collect miles and points using their Advantage card as well. So that's one key component to how you can achieve savings as an SME when travelling. Then there are other programs as well that we have out there. For example, we have a prepaid program called AirPass, which allows companies to pre-purchase air travel. And what we do is we sell blocks of miles to companies at a rate that gives you a discount off travel, and therefore allows you to benefit from reduced travel cost as well. In addition to that, one of the things we also like to try and do is ensure that there's an opportunity for our business to grow with yours. So as your business grows, then there are opportunities to also build a deeper relationship with American. For example, through introducing volume-based discounts depending on just how much money you spend each year when you travel. So I think that there are, to conclude, a wide variety of benefits from being enrolled in these types of programs. The first one is the fact that you have choice. You can either choose to book directly with an airline, or you can continue to work with your preferred travel agency. As I mentioned earlier on, I think these programs are a great way to give you added value and added productivity. You can make better use of your travel time, you can make savings while you're doing so, and also they give you access to great management information to allow you to manage your travel budgets more effectively, which I think is also a very important thing for small and medium-sized companies. And lastly, the other thing as well, which is also important, again, when travelling far-flung international destinations, is that these programs give you access to support. So whether it's on the day of travel, or whether in fact it's related to how to do business in a particular country, we also have an affiliation with a number of programs, like for example the SCORE program in the US, where we can give access to SMEs that work with us to coaching and support that might help them do business better in international locations. So those are really kind of some of the main benefits, if you like, of these kind of travel programs that are available for SMEs. And as I mentioned earlier on, if you've never looked at these types of programs before, I would strongly recommend that you do so. And I hope that you will find that an opportunity to build a closer relationship with us in America. So that pretty much concludes my presentation. Thank you very much indeed for your time.